Hey everyone, welcome to another SmiteReplays.com broadcast. Today we bring you round 3 from the My Revenge tournament number 8. This is between Juice Gaming and BLG NA. And the thing about this match is it's kind of unfortunate that two heavyweights like BLG NA and Juice Gaming have to meet up in round 3 of the preliminaries. So whoever loses here gets knocked out for the rest of the tournament. We will not see either of these teams in the semifinals or finals, as we have seen them in pretty much the finals. And they're BLG NA is a newly formed team. They kind of pieced together other players, but all the players have been into the last parts. Juice Gaming did actually win My Revenge number 6 and My Revenge number 7. So some great reactions there. It's unfortunate these two teams have to meet up now. So we'll have to see. This has to be an epic bout between Juice Gaming and BLG NA. And I'm amazed to see how close it will be and what happens. I'm sure that a lot of great events will happen. So quickly before the game starts, let's go ahead and cover the players and who's going to be playing what. Shing's going to be playing Odin with his lane mate Ra, played by Matty Pocket. In the mid lane, we're going to be, of course, see Jerby played Anubis. And we actually haven't seen Anubis too much in any of the tournaments. We haven't seen anyone play Anubis that much. And if they do, they don't really play him that effectively. We've seen Anubis in the side lane from Team Live in the preliminaries of My Revenge number 7. However, it did work out quite well. But it ended up not really making it into the mid lane. So we'll see how Anubis does get played out here. On the other side of the map, we're going to have myR playing Allied. And we're going to have myR played by Lassus. And this is a very common lane we see from a lot of people. The initiation from myR with the Frost Breath followed by the Impale into a wall. It has great offense potential, but also good counter initiation. If you get jumped on by someone, you can easily respond with a Frost Breath and Impale. myR taking some decent damage here from the movement speed. Impale comes out to take that down. Movement speed is going to go to the myR. Going to start out with low HP and half mana from myR, but we'll see how that does end up affecting it. When we have some initiation in the right lane quickly before this happens. It's amazing to see, actually, Vamana Thor. So for BLG NA, we're going to have Arena Tank playing Agni in the mid lane. We're going to have KO playing Sun Wukong in the left lane with his lane mate Bacchus Sturmies. And then Andestor's going to be playing Vamana with his lane mate The Alpha or the Wig Beaner playing Thor. Thor Vamana is an interesting lane. And if you guys look at these crazy lane setups, it's mostly because we do see the draft mode coming out, which means that if a god is drafted by one team, it cannot be used by the other team. So if myR gets drafted by Juice Gaming, it cannot be picked up by BLG NA. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to wait it out. You have to use more cleverness, more involvement. We see more Vamana's getting picked up. Bacchus is more common now. Here comes the Berserker Barrage top of the Odin. Odin taking some decent damage. Does Vamana go for the Umbrella Ring? Do they have the Tectonic Rift? Let's see if the Tectonic Umbrella Ring comes out. Go for the slow. A lunge comes out. Ra getting jumped on, doing some great harassment. Here comes the Odin using the Gungnir's Might. Odin does have the blue buff, so he can easily use all these, all the mana regeneration to do that kind of stuff. So Thor and Vamana doing a great job in the here. It looks like Agni and Anubis are getting. Anubis is actually winning the mid lane. Agni getting pushed back to his tower in the mid lane. Now the thing about this is, if you guys have played Agni in the mid lane, the thing that makes an Agni successful in the mid lane is offense. If Agni doesn't play offensive enough, it's very easy for him to get picked off or, you know, get pushed back to his tower. He needs to be pushed up a lot. And actually, Juice is going to be going for a Locust Swarm attempt here. Amazing that he allows it. Here comes the Grasping Hands into the Mummify, taking some minion damage, uses the Path of Flames out. Initiation in the right lane. Looks like Vamana dropping kind of low here. Thor dropping kind of low here. Celestial Beam comes out, does not land. Tectonic Rift on top of the Odin and the Ra, but nothing to come out there. Vamana Thor having a tough time here. And I attribute this mainly to the fact that Ra is a great support with his Solar Blessing. He can easily heal everyone out. Umbrella Ring comes out but doesn't land on top of the Odin. And the fact that Odin had the blue buff to start out, so he can easily use Gungnir's Might and his Lunge to push the wave. He has full mana, you can see. Lunge comes out. He's going to use the Gungnir's Might right after. In the mid lane, we see Agni and Anubis going back at it. Ultimate comes out from the Anubis and takes him down. Amazing response there. It's the force and the pressure that Jerby can push out. It's amazing to see Jerby played in the mid lane, because it's so often we see him get the first blood or push him back in the tower. Bacchus and Sun Wukong be double stunned here. Here comes the Glacial Strike. myR's not really going to respond. You're just pushing this out. Belch on top of the myR. The stun is going to land. Overhand smash on top of myR and myR. Doing some great damage, great harassment. Here comes the Fierce. Bacchus jumps in, using the belly flop. Here comes the Somersault on top of the Monkey. Monkey going for some good harassment, but they're just going to Heavenly Agility and get out of dodge. Amazing response there. So it's kind of back and forth. And even if we look at the numbers here, even with first blood, they're only up by about 700 gold. At the 3-minute mark, that's not that much. It's a slight lead, but it's something you can really boast about. Bacchus might try to interrupt here. myR does have his Desert Fury, so something to be careful about. This lane dynamic will change a lot as soon as both Bacchus and Wukong just hit level 5. myR is not level 5 yet, but now the ultimates are there, so everything's going to be changing a lot. Does Agni get pushed back again? Uses the Locust Swarm. Now it's amazing because right before this, in round 2, we saw whatever gaming go with an Anubis pick, and they just couldn't get the damage out. They went for the Grasping Hands build. They tried to push the wave, but they just couldn't do it. It's the exact lineup. It was Agni versus Anubis, and they just couldn't get the push out. We saw BLG NA play. It was actually Arena take on Agni as well. The offensiveness from Agni, you see how he's kind of just letting this happen. If Agni steps on the Grasping Hands and pulls the wave off or goes for a dash, and just barely gets it on the ranged minions, so that's a decent push there. Wukong by himself in the left lane, Vamana by himself in the right lane. And again, we see Raw Odin pushing this up. We've seen Raw Odin in a couple of games prior to this one where they play it quite effectively. The initiation from the Odin is great, and 3 out of the 4 abilities from Ra do go over the Odin Spear, so if Odin decides to initiate, Ra can easily respond with that using the Solar Blessing, using the Celestial Beam, using the Searing Pain over the wall, and then Gungnir's might come out. They actually do have a ward out. Let's see if the Tectonic Rift lands just on the Ra. Do they go for the Berserker Barrage? Ra goes for the Divine Light on top of the Thor. Belch comes out, but does not land on the Odin, actually just barely clips that, but Vamana's coming around with the Umbrella Ring, lands on top, doesn't really go anywhere further than that. It's amazing to see the rotation, and it's like we see in the earlier prelims, if something like that happens, we usually see a death coming out. But these two title weight contenders coming out at this, even a 3v2 situation, nothing really comes out. You saw Ra back off just in time, uses the Divine Light to take down the Thor, who was using Berserker Barrage. We see Anhur and myR going for the movement speed buff yet again. And when we look at the item choices, we only have one Heartseeker up for Juice Gaming that's up on Anhur and Lassus, but we just see a lot of ability items, and this is one of the reasons that it's easy to pick off inexperienced teams versus experienced teams. If we look at the scoreboard here, just look at the ability items. Of all the ability items available, that's 10 times 2 is 20 available ability items. Only 3 of them are missing. Everyone has ability items 5 minutes into the game, and it's so important. It can adjust your gameplay. It can save you from dying to an ultimate. It can save you from so many different things that it's important to have those up. We see myR going for an early Heavenly Agility. This is an ability item that will pay off early game, but will start to fall off later into the game, so something to really be aware of. In the mid lane, we have Agni going up against Anubis. And Anubis is still setting the pace. And we look at the gold numbers, 4,000 gold for Anubis. Agni is sitting at 3,400. So it was because he wasn't in the lane and Anubis got first blood, he's 600 gold behind. 600 gold behind individually. So it's going to see another Locust Swarm. Goes to bait the Locust Swarm, does not land the Mummify, but goes for the Locust Swarm on top and do some good damage there. Ultimate coming out from the Agni. But Anubis is just so tanky. We see the Focus CDR build come out from Anubis. He's going for the Chronos Pendant. I expect him to be going for Boots Celerity to follow up with that, and then possibly a Spear of the Magus. We'll see what he ends up going for. Odin is going to be going for a Brawler build with the Warriors Tabi and the Executioner. Probably going to finish the Executioner first, leave the Warriors Tabi at level 1. And Bacchus and Thor coming out here. Does Juice realize it? Derby does realize it, goes for the belly flop on top of the Anubis, goes for the Belch. Here comes the Tectonic Rift to block him in. Agni's going to respawn here. Here comes the Mjolnir's Tombstone. Uses the Aegis Amulet to avoid the damage. Ultimate comes out from the Agni, lands one, lands the stun. Here comes the Ignite. The Mummify on top of the Agni. Does he have enough? Does he turn around and ulti that? He probably could have done a turnaround, a whip around ulti, and probably could have dropped Agni there as his Path of Flames just came back up. Dropped him quite low. But great response from Derby, using the Aegis Amulet to avoid the Mjolnir's Attunement. A great damage output coming out there. Tectonic Rift kind of blocked him in. He really needed to use the Aegis Amulet to prevent himself. Frost Breath on top of the Thor. I don't see them going in on this. Belch on top of Odin, stunning those minions there. In the right lane, we have Vamana solo farming. Odin Ultimate coming out. Does he have a Mjolnir's Attunement? It doesn't look like he does. Some great damage coming out. Does he have one more hit? Will probably do it. Gungnir's Might to take him down for the last second. Unfortunately, he either didn't have enough mana for Mjolnir's Attunement, or it was on cooldown. Couldn't get out of there, and that's one of the things, utilizing Odin Spears to not trap multiple people, but to trap 1 or 2, just to get a great pick. Uses the Noxious Fumes to stop him from going home. That's kind of like a, hey, stop that type thing. Ultimate comes out to stop him again. Oh, the trolling. Goes for the ultimate. myR's had enough. Goes for the wall. Does go for the Frostbite. Does not land on top of him. You can only poke the bear so many times, guys. You can only poke the bear so many times before he gets mad. Odin coming from behind on top of the Vamana. Does anything happen here? Umbrella on top of the Odin. Odin lunges out. 2v1 situation. I'm not sure they really realized that the magnitude of that. They probably could have gone in that. Thor's coming out, but actually going to the mid lane. So you don't see Thor going to the right lane. At this point of the game, we check the gold numbers. It's actually 400 gold apart. Juice Game is only 400 gold ahead. Searing Pain comes to take down the minion wave. Vamana's probably going to go for a wave here, trying to push this down. Does not land on the ranged minions, but Odin goes home. See what Odin ends up picking up. Finishes off. Actually gets tier 2 of his Executioner. As far as the ability items go, we are only missing 2 now. myR and Wukong are the only ones. Looks like Wukong is going to be going for a very thin damage build. Skips the ability items, skips the boots. Just goes for the damage. Tier 2 of the boots, and I expect him to leave him at tier 2 for quite a while. And this is one of the products that we see of the draft mode. We see the unique comes out, Frost Breath comes out, Belly Flop avoids it, Belch comes out, but not really going to do anything there. Fierce Monkey doing something there. Vamana jumping into the Raw, but look for the Odin. Does he have the spears? Does he try to go for it? Uses a sprint trying to catch up to the Vamana. Vamana's just going to sprint out there as well. Agni way pushed up in the middle lane. Does Anubis go for it? Does he realize that Anubis is here? He's going to come in. Does he land the Mummify? Just barely misses the Mummify. Agni surviving by the skin of his teeth. Anubis did have his ultimate. Thor going to be going for a damage buff. Vamana in the right lane, pushing this wave up. Solo farm coming out of Vamana. You can see Vamana is actually level 10, whereas Thor and Bacchus are level 8 each, and that's because they've been roaming a lot. Again, the gold numbers are so even, guys. 200 gold apart. That is nothing. That is completely even. 9.5 minutes in the game. 200 gold apart. Juice Gaming with a slight lead. And that's only because they have one more kill than the enemy team does. 2-1 in 9.5 minutes. Thor coming from behind. Look for the Tectonic Rift. Is he going to go for an ultimate? Does he have a Frost Breath? Goes for the Frost Breath right as it comes out. Glacial Strike. Bacchus jumps in with a belly flop. Tectonic Rift comes out on top. Here comes the ultimate from Manu here on her. On her, disperses out. Happy Here comes out, but it's not going to do anything there. Ultimate does not land on top of anyone. Kind of nullified for both teams. Great response from myR to use that Frost Breath to prevent the Tectonic Rift. They probably would have been in a much more difficult situation if that Tectonic Rift had landed in the first place. Anubis, Agni pushing this up in the mid lane. Rock gonna be stolen, but Agni goes for a meteor. Does he try to go to steal? Goes for the meteor, but doesn't steal anything. I was quite close there. Could have, if he waited a little bit longer, he could have taken that. Just gave that to Anubis. Anubis gonna be heading back in the mid lane. Look for the Mummify. Does he go for it? Path of Flames out. Knows he was in a tough spot there. Drops that down. Bacchus doing a solo here, trying to get this medium camp down. See who he decides to go for. As far as the ability items go, looks like Bacchus is going for Boots of Celerity into the Bulwark of Hope. Very strong item. I expect to see very many Bulwark of Hopes out in this game. It's a very powerful item. It gives you magic resistance. Look at the item here. Pull it up in when he finishes up. Magic resistance also gives you focus, gives you some health, but also the passive is really what you're going for. When you drop down to a quarter health, you will receive a damage reduction for, you'll take half damage for 2 seconds. Vamana doing some good harassment on the Ra. Ra uses the Solar Blessing trying to heal this back up. He needs to stand in it the whole time. He does have the blue buff. Bacchus is going to run right into Odin and Anubis in the jungle here. No mana to belly flop out. On her. Over in the left lane by himself. Monkey probably going to come over here and try and harass him a bit. Honor has his full Heartseeker. Probably go for some good stacks there. Honor has not died, and neither has Sun Wukong, so most likely going for a full stack. Almost, probably quite close at that point. 2v1 in the mid lane. Let's see if Anubis can land a Mummify here. Does Odin have an ultimate? Odin does not have an ultimate, so they probably could go for the Agni if they do land the spears. Anubis is going to be heading home. We'll see what he decides to pick up. I expect probably a Spear of the Magus or a Void Stone. Finishes off the Boots of Celerity. Does not buy anything there. Oh, does go for the Spear of the Magus. Definitely some good penetration, some good focus there as well. He's going for a high focus build, which means Mummify is going to last quite a long time. He's also going to have a great slow on his grasping hands. So good team fight presence there coming out from Anubis. It hurts his damage a bit, but makes his Mummify last a lot longer and gives his team an opportunity to deal with. I wouldn't recommend this in public games, but in a competitive setting, when you have people to back you up all the time, looks like he has initiation here. Bacchus, Thor, look for the Tectonic Rift. Does he go for the Anvil of Dawn? We'll see. Odin has his ultimate back up now, but low on mana here. myR coming out. Anubis in the mid lane. Celestial Beam comes out, pushes down. Vamana just sticking in the lane. And this is getting kind of scary for Juice. Vamana's been sticking in this lane, farming up quite well, getting lots of free experience. In the mid lane, we have some initiation. Anubis getting kind of caught. Tectonic Rift. Here comes the ultimate from Agni and takes him down. They kind of baited it out. They showed themselves in the right lane there. Frost by the top of the Agni. Agni getting kind of slowed by that. Bacchus ultimate comes down, but doesn't really do anything. It's kind of just defensive ultimate. Ra coming from the right. Let's see if he decides to go for a Searing Pain on top of anyone. Not really anything he can do with that. Vamana and Odin going at it in the right lane. They need to be careful here because Vamana is getting a lot of solo farm, a lot of solo experience. You see Vamana is actually level 13. Vamana is the highest level on his team, and no one really enjoys going up against a fed Vamana. Because the damage output from Vamana is quite high. Also the fact that Vamana can take a lot of damage, a lot of punishment, especially with his ultimate. Exchanging hits over in the right lane. Someone caught by himself. Someone ends up going home. See what he decides to go for. Does he go for a Void Blade? We'll see. Finishes off the boots and goes for the Void Blade right into the Void Blade there. This is a very common build for melee physical carries, guys. Heartseeker into the Warrior Tabby and finishing off with the Void Blade. This is very common for the reason that it gives you good mobility, good damage output, and if you have a fully stacked Heartseeker, the Void Blade will give you good penetration, good physical protection when you have to stand in. A lot of physical carries will have to go in and attack physically in melee range, so they're exposing themselves to a lot of damage initiation. With that Void Blade, they absorb some of that with the physical protection, so definitely something to look out for there. If you look at the ward situation for both teams, Juice Gaming has some great wards up covering part of the Gold Fury and definitely a great part of the Fire Giant. This will prevent some good ganks, and this probably is a reason why they have Vamana over here for the ward vision for BLG NA. Not any wards up, actually. They don't really have any. They have supposedly one here, but there's some replay bugs here, so we're not really entirely sure if that is a ward or what's going on with that. If we switch to the vision, then they don't really have any. They have one down here by the movement speed buff. Nothing going to do it. Bacchus kind of in front. Odin's going for the damage buff. And at this point, looks like BLG's actually taking the lead. They got one kill. Took down the Anubis in the mid lane. Great flank there. They showed themselves in the right lane, so they backed up, and then the right lane wasn't there to respond. Anubis, this is one of the reasons why Anubis is a tough pick, is because he's so exposable. If he gets caught, he's pretty much caught. No mobility, doesn't have the path of plans from the Agni, doesn't have the heal from Ra, doesn't have any of the slows. He has a good stun, but if he misses a stun, that's about it. Right lane 2v1, Vamana still sticking in here, farming lots and lots and lots. Left lane just barely gets out there with the Honor. Honor decides to go for the Executioner. Again, this is a very common build for ranged physical carries. Bacchus jumping on top of the Anubis. We'll see if we can't come out here, and we're just really waiting for a big event to happen. This is all even, all back and forth, and we know the reason this is happening is because these two teams are such big players in the competitive scene for Smite right now. They all have very heavy amounts of practice as far as matches, playing live, all that kind of stuff. myR kind of running around, wants to keep the minions off the tower, play some hugging with them, and they're just so experienced. You can see the patience, the presence of mind from all the players. They're not really running into anything. Nothing really gets caught out. If there's a huge number they didn't really expect, but there's no surprises for either team. No one really gets caught. No one is in the wrong position at the wrong time. Anubis got caught, but I mean, to his credit, he was at his tier 2 tower. Got flanked there. They didn't have the wards coming up, so they actually ended up going through the medium camp here, where there were no wards. Vamana's still sticking in the right lane, farming it up, and Vamana's level 15. Vamana is actually the highest level in the game, and again, I question the fact that they're just letting Vamana free farm over here. Agni in the mid lane, Honor coming out. Goes for the Impale combination, but a little bit too late there. Needed to lead the Obelisk a little bit more. myR going for the damage. Agni ultimate. Does Thor get caught here? Miona's attunement. Does he go for the ultimate? Just to be safe. Does he come down and initiate, though? That's the thing. See where Thor decides to go. He's looking like he wants to. Decides to come back down. Play it safe. No one really wants to screw up at this point. It's so fragile. The first big loss in team fight will set the pace for the rest of the game and put someone ahead and put someone behind. They need to be really careful about when that exchange happens. Agni keeping this lane up as much as he can. myR goes for the Mystical Mark first, which is an interesting build. He will be going for a focus build. It does seem goes for the boost of celerity. We'll see what he decides to go for after that. I expect more Bulwarks of Hope coming out soon, especially from the myR. Bacchus about to finish his Bulwark of Hope. Odin going for a Witch Stone, surprisingly. Gold Fury attempt coming out. Someone comes trying to... The Gold Fury does actually leash. Happy New comes out on top of Honor. Does Honor get dropped here? Agni goes Frost Breath on top. Does Honor actually survive with a dispersion? Huge ultimate coming out from Anubis, dropping down the Agni. Great damage. Odin goes for the lunge. Does he go for anything? Someone actually sprints out. myR getting kind of low. Goes for the ultimate. The spears come down to keep him inside the ultimate. Does the ultimate land? Does land on Bacchus. See, the Vamana is so far at this point. This is what I was talking about. Vamana going for some great damage on the myR. myR actually gets dropped. Gets kind of low here. Vamana going for it. One more hit will take him out. Does he go for the Honor? Does he just risk to go in the back? Getting kind of low here. Celestial Beam does not land. Uses Clear the Path and Sprint. Amazing amount of movement speed coming out from a Vamana. Here comes the Divine Light. It's going to slow the Vamana. Solar Blessing. Look for the Impale. Mummify doesn't land. Impale doesn't land either. But there's the Locust Storm to finish off the Vamana. And this is what we were waiting for, folks. This is exactly what we were waiting for. That huge big win. Gold Fury did not go down. Actually got least. So let's see if they go for a Gold Fury attempt here. It's incredible to see the pace. So if you look at the gold numbers now, it's still actually quite even. Less than 1k down. About 800 gold or so. Gold Fury does go in favor of Juice Gaming, so that's going to prop it back up to about 2k lead, 2.2k lead for Juice Gaming. And 3 for 6 here. BLG falling quite behind. Amazing engagement there. They're a little bit too off kilter. They started the Gold Fury, although Juice did respond quite quickly, and it's amazing to see that they kind of go through the preliminaries facing new teams, inexperienced teams, and we don't really see this kind of response. They're used to being able to take a relatively free Gold Fury, but if we look at the vision for Juice Gaming, they actually have wards down by their medium cam. This is a Juice Gaming ward. Wards back here. They have wards in front of the Gold Fury. This could have been placed at the end of that chase there, but probably wasn't. So definitely something that you can see from a lot of very experienced teams, and I don't think BLG NA realized that they were going to respond that quickly. They had to back off. The Monkey came from behind to push him up. Ultimate came out from the myR, but I think really what happened is Vamana was a little late. Vamana is probably their most farmed character on the team. Let's look at the gold numbers for Vamana. Vamana is definitely the most farmed person on their team, but he was late. Showed up a little bit late, a little bit delayed response from some of the players there. Great ultimate coming out from Anubis. Anubis lined up an excellent. We actually have some initiation in the right lane. Vamana going for some great damage. Ultimate coming out from the Odin. On her is nowhere to be seen in the left lane. Ultimate comes out from the Thor, does not land on top of anyone, stuns the myR. Going for the Berserker Barrage on top of them. Odin dropping quite low there. Belly flop. Here comes the Searing Pain. Does not hit anybody. Bacchus got quite low. Uses the EGM on the Odin, but he's not going to survive. Here comes the ultimate coming out from Anubis. Goes straight for the Thor. Excellent presence of mind there coming out from Jerby. Vamana's going to try and clear the path out of here. The wall just barely misses there. Locust Swarm. Not only much that can come out here. Amazing presence of Mon from Jerby. What you saw there is he landed the Mummify on top of the Vamana, but saw that the Thor was lower, so easily could have landed that. Used the Death Gaze on top of the Thor, not the Vamana, the person he just mummified, to get that free kill. The Alpha ends up dropping there. Bulwark Hope coming out from Thor. More Bulwark Hopes coming out here. Solar Blessing. Do they go for any attempts here? Looks like Monkey and Honor are just pushing this lane back and forth. Great farm coming out from the Honor. Honor is actually level 17 now. Great farm coming out from him. Actually has finished his Titan's Bane. So Titan's Bane from the Executioner. Great penetration. He's going to be able to take down the Thor. He's going to go through the Void Blade on the Vamana and the Monkey. He's going to not really have much of a difficult time taking down almost anyone. He's going to do nearly true damage with that Titan's Bane and the Executioner. Probably needs to go for a Deathbringer, maybe a Rage after that. We'll see what he decides to go for. Might benefit from a bolt. There's a lot of magic damage that's going to come out from this game. See if we can't kill someone. Already pushing the mid lane. Goes for the ultimate here. Vamana again soloing the right lane. Getting some great farm. What does he decide to go for? About to finish off that Void Blade. What is Ra going? Ra's going full tank. Actually has no passives. Interestingly enough, level 2 Reinforced Boots, level 2 Voidstone, and level 2 Wall of Absolution. Kind of curious to see why he decided to go for that. If I could ask him, I would. Ra's going to head back home here. I don't know if he's going to try and finish them all. It looks like Bacchus running into Odin here. Does he try to Belly Flop up? Is it up? No one really... He's just kind of wiggling around. Belly Flops right on out there. Not sure if he was trying to... Actually, a Frostbreath comes out from the myR, but myR's probably by himself a little bit. Tectonic Rift comes out. Bacchus a little bit caught. Anubis doesn't really have any intentions of committing here. myR was all there up by himself. 2k lead coming out from Juice Gaming. Right lane Vamana. Monkey soloing again. And we're seeing a lot of delayed farming. A lot of the characters are being farming up and going for a late game. So all this hurry up and wait. 4 to 7 in this. 4 to 7 so far. 21-minute mark. We don't really have any lead for either team. Vamana going after the Odin, but Odin taking very little damage. Actually has a bit of an advantage. Does he go for the clear the path? Probably wants to get out here. Odin is quite tanky. The Witchstone's really helping him out there against the Vamana. Really will help him against the Thor as well, and the Monkey. And the Bacchus, actually. The Witchstone is actually a great pickup for. Thor comes out. No Tectonic Rift attempt there. In the mid lane, we have Honor actually coming in the mid lane. Ultimate comes out from the Audi, trying to push this back up. And it's just a back and forth. No one really wants to make any mistakes. No one really wants to get knocked out. And I think it also has to do with the fact that this is still a preliminary match. Everyone has to realize this is still a preliminary match. So whoever loses this match is not a best of 3. You don't get a second game or a third game. There's no comeback. So if you lose this match, you get dropped out. You're out of the tournament forever. So everyone's being very, very careful. Someone comes from behind, gets impaled on the wall. Great response. Here comes the Happy New Year, doing some great damage. Bacchus ultimate and the Augie ultimate. Augie ultimate does not land on top of the Anubis. The Frostbreath comes out, uses the Aegis Ammo to avoid, but Augie's going to come through. Misses the Ignite, actually. Anubis running around the tower, uses the Mummify on top of the Augie, goes for the Locust Swarm, but his box is able to take this out. Glacial Strike on top. Belch comes out. Does he get the Augie? Augie drops, but so does Anubis. Bulwark of Hope coming out. Odin come here. Look for the ultimate. Lunges down, so not going to be able to do that. Vamana and Thor coming from the right lane here. See what does come here. Vamana might run into Ra. Ra backs off a bit. Does he go for a Ring of Spears? Both these players can jump out. Dispersion from the Honor. And also the Somersault coming out from the Wukong can easily jump out of the Spears. So not really much to come out there. Amazing reaction. Unfortunately, the Augie came in to use the Ignite and mistimed it just by a millisecond. Just barely mistimed the Ignite on top of the Anubis. The Aegis Amulet had not finished its effect yet, so the Ignite didn't do anything. And then Ring Around Rosie around the tower. Mummify coming out. Great Mummify. Frost Breath coming out from Mana. Overhand Smash. Gungnir's Might. Clear the path, trying to catch up to Odin here. Odin. Here's the Thor. The Thor ultimate. Thor decides to go up. Where does Thor land? This is going to be key. Comes down. Doesn't land on top of anyone. See the initiation. They're still working on the Gold Fury. Gold Fury's not really taking much damage. Here comes the Tectonic Rift to try and delay, but they're going to have the Gold Fury attacking the whole time. Here comes the Solar Blessing. Berserker Barrage. Celestial Beam on top of the Gold Fury. Bacchus needs to jump out there. There's no reason to be doing the Gold Fury right now. We really need to be pushing them back. Bacchus is just tanking this at this point. Goes to the belly flop. Goes for the belch. Odin uses the lunge to get out there. Clear the path. Bacchus uses the ultimate, but actually lands on top of the Odin just barely. Celestial Beam on top of the Vamana. Thor still going for the Gold Fury. Are they going to be able to get it in time? Yona's attunement. Here comes the overhand smash. Frost Breath. Let's see who gets the Gold Fury. And it was Juice Game. He steals the Gold Fury. Odin, the ultimate coming out from Vamana. Odin comes to do the ultimate. Odin shout. Thor getting kind of low here. Bouldercope does drop. Does he have Yona's attunement to get out? Odin going for granted. Takes out the Thor. Honor coming down. Impales the Bacchus. Bouldercope does pop. Damage comes out. Does he get taken out here? Vamana doing the best that he can, but really not much of an influence here. Lunge, belly flop. Agni coming out. Ultimate coming out from the Anubis. Doesn't really land too much. Oh, ultimate coming out from the Agni. Celestial Beam. Lands on top of the Odin. Odin dropping quite low. Here comes the Locust Swarm. Impale on top of the Agni. I don't see Agni getting out of this. His Path of Flames is down. Goes to the ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. And Vamana not really committing too much to these. With the amount of farm that Vamana has, he really needs to be committing to these fights. Celestial Beam comes out. Honor Dispersion. Happy New Year comes out. He's going to be able to pick these off. Go Monkey, go! Each damage comes out from the Honor. Overhand Smash. Lands the Mummify on top of the overhand smash. Does not get that damage out. Here comes the Locust Swarm from Anubis doing some great damage here. Solar Blessing coming out from the Rock. Celestial Beam. Overhand Smash. And Monkey gets killed. Monkey gets taken out. That Mummify was so clutch. Belly flop on top of the Bacchus. Bacchus doing the belch on top of the Honor. Honor impales him to the wall. Does not get the stun off. Amazing reaction there. Jeremy with the clutch Mummify in mid-overhand smash. The damage does not come out. Honor survives. Anubis survives. Great damage to Locust Swarm follow up. And then Monkey gets taken out by the Ra. Amazing reactions there. Amazing. I'm beside myself with how well coordinated that was. I would say the major issue for BLG NA at this point is the fact that they have a farm Vamana who really isn't committing to these fights. He's in and out. And the fact that he's so farmed, he really needs to be in there the entire time. And if anything, he should be leading the charge. With his ultimate, he can absorb a lot of damage, activate the ultimate, and just heal back up. Not really committing too much. He's exposing his squishies like Sun Wukong, Agni, getting caught out there. myR, great freeze. And it's amazing too, the Juice actually stole the Gold Fury. BLG spent so much time working on this Gold Fury while they were initiating over here. BLG was back here trying to get it. Wukong and Honor doing some great damage there. Trying to take down. Thor used all of his cooldowns to take down the Gold Fury, and they didn't even get it. When the Gold Fury went down, Thor's Mjolnir's attunement was down. He couldn't teleport away. Couldn't get out of that fight. Was kind of just trapped there. Odin's ultimate comes out. Uses the Gungnir's Might and the Odin Shout to take down Thor immediately. His ultimate was down as well. Too many cooldowns used. Just too many cooldowns used for BLG NA for just all retch and no vomit. They really couldn't get up enough to get a benefit out of that. Ultimate coming out from the Agni. Look for the freeze. Look for the wall. Bacchus backing up a bit here. Only one meteor left for Agni. They do engage here. Won't have that at all. Look at the item builds. Deathbringer coming out from the Odin. Great damage boost there. Devour's Gloves on Honor. Honor going for a full damage build. Not much attack speed, but it's going to make his Impale and Desert Fury do a lot more damage. We do see an Obsidian Shard for Anubis going into Ratatouille. When he does finish this, he'll do a lot of damage. Sovereignty just went up for myR. myR will have a lot of focus, which means his Frost Breath will last a very long time. Ra did finally finish off the Void Stone and the Wall of Absolution, going into a Gem of Isolation. This will make his Divine Light, Solar Blessing, and Celestial Beam do some great slowing mechanics. myR solo in the right lane. Vamana trying to push this out the best that he can. Notice attunement comes out. Monkey running into Honor in the left lane. See if anything can come out of this. Honor's kind of picking him back here. As far as the farm advantage, looks like Wukong's at 11,500. And the Honor's at 12,500. So a huge lead for the Honor as far as physical carry goes. Fierce Monkey comes out, does very nominal damage to Honor. Odin jumping on top of the Vamana. Does anything come out of this? Vamana's quite farm, but not really making much effect from this. And this is kind of what happens for the people here is that when the draft mode comes out, you're going to force other teams to play characters they're not comfortable with. They're going to play characters that they don't really have a lineup for or aren't as effective. You can see the presence that myR has in this fight. Juice ended up drafting that. It's unfortunate to see that we don't really get to see the draft mode picks in this replay session. Need spectator mode for that, but I would like to see who got picked first. I imagine that myR was one of the first picks. Anubis was probably a last pick. Bacchus probably last pick. Those low priority characters probably get picked out last. Did they go for a Fire Giant attempt here? It looks like they're faking it. Tectonic Rift comes out, traps myR inside. Bacchus going for some good initiation over here. Kind of split. Grasping Hands prevents them from initiating. On her by himself. This is a 4v5, and they choose to fight this. On her is not there. Ultimate comes out. They're all bunching up here. Berserker Barrage. Each Sammy comes. Ultimate comes down. Here's the Bacchus ultimate. Anubis ultimate comes down on top of Bacchus. Does Bacchus get out in time? Gets frozen by the Frost Breath. Thor going up. Look for the Thor ultimate. Here comes the myR ultimate. He's going to land on top of Mana, and that's about it. He's the only one inside. Use the ultimate to prevent that damage. Where is the Thor ultimate? That is what I'm wondering. See if it does come down here. Happy Year comes out. Thor ultimate on top of Odin and Ra. Ra getting caught here. Use the Aegis Hammer on top of the Odin. Berserker Barrage on top of the myR. Is it enough? Just barely out of range. Does he get this in time? The Mummify comes out. Clutch Mummify from Derby again. Berserker Barrage coming out. Thor goes to Tectonic Rift top of the Ra. Uses the lunge to get out there. Here comes to clear the path. Knocks him out of the stun, unfortunately. Clear the path a little bit too eager there. Mummify lands on top. Does he have a Locust Swarm on top of the Vamana? Vamana's a little bit too tanky here at this point. The only person that got picked off was the Bacchus from the myR stun and the Anubis ultimate. Great damage, but amazing Mummify coming out for the Anubis. And throughout all this, Honor is actually pushing up the left lane. Got the tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Over half the damage on the Phoenix there. Over half the damage. Do some good damage there. If we check the items again, looks like myR is going for the Bulwark of Hope. Actually, 4 Bulwark of Hopes up on BLG NA. Agni picks up Bulwark of Hope after his Gem of Isolation. Great stun. Slows there. Monkey ends up going for Deathbringer. Thor gets the high enemy line. He realizes there's some great damage coming out from On Her. And the Odin. Tectonic Rift comes out. Not really getting anything to happen here. Here comes the Obelisk. Looks like Agni's by himself. Does he get caught? The wall does not trap him. Lunge comes out from the Odin. Does he try to catch this Agni? Did they get the fire? They actually got the Fire Giant. This is a huge advantage for Juice. They are up quite a bit. 6,000 gold, just under. Bacchus going after the On Her over here. Not really much. They're going to go for the Gold Fury now. So they just got the Fire Giant. They're going to be going for the Gold Fury. Does BLG know? If we check the minimap, BLG has no knowledge of this. They have no wards up on the minimap. They don't know that they're over here. So this is a free Gold Fury after a free Fire Giant. He's going to put the Gold Fury. Just went up by about 1.5k. Now they're up by nearly 8,000 gold. Just reaching the 8,000 gold limit here. Vamana doing some buffs in the right lane. Again, Vamana not really part of this. They need to defend this. 5-man push coming in the right lane. Can they do anything about this? BLG needs to respond to this immediately. They have the Fire Giant buff up.
Your left Phoenix is under attack.
Here comes Celestial. Solar Blessing to heal everyone back up. Monkey trying to heal this. Vamana coming out. Agni. Lost a Phoenix. Lost the Fire Giant. Lost the Gold Fury. All that just goes down. Box goes for the Belch. Gets impaled in response. Odin trying to do some harassment here. Umbrella Ring doesn't land on anyone. Look for the wall. Look for the freeze. Probably going to have an myR initiation here. Taking the tower. Solar Blessing comes out. Odin goes for it. Does he go for his spears? He goes for the spears off the Thor. Thor, does he have a Mjolnir's attunement? Let's see what happens here. Mummify in the backside. Thor's probably going to get dropped here. Here comes the ultimate coming out from the Anubis. Do some great damage. Gets impaled to the wall. Bacchus is going to drop here. Gets taken out. Ultimate comes out from the Agni. Vamana, the Happy New Year comes out. Ymir's going to do some great damage, but probably just to the Vamana. Ymir dropping quite low. Vamana doesn't even care about the damage output there. Impale. Use the Aegis Amulet. Mummify just barely misses there. Does he get taken out by the ultimate? Kamagi does get taken out. Honor dropping kind of low here. Clear the path. 2 dead for BLG NA, I think. 1 dead. Here comes the stun. 1 more hit. He'll take it for the Odin. Odin uses the Aegis Amulet. Mummify comes out on the Vamana. Here comes the ultimate from the Odin. He's going to time it just perfectly. Takes out the Odin. Desert Fury coming out. The Vamana. Is it going to be enough? Not going to be enough there. Amazing response there. We saw the Mummify come out. We saw the ultimate from the Odin. And what the Odin ultimate really did there, if you guys were wondering, that only caught the Thor. But what it did is it prevented from 3 other players from BLG NA from pushing up. Mummify comes out. Ani gets stunned here. Path of Flame, Celestial Beam. Not going to be enough. Honor gets picked off here. Loses all the stacks on his Heartseeker. They try to chase this. Mummify probably coming back up soon here. Grasping hands on the ground. Clear the path, trying to catch up. Mummify throws out. Doesn't land him. Here comes the beats to prevent the slow. Ultimate comes out. Happy near. Does he have it? He doesn't. Overhand smash top of the rod. Does the Raw survive here? Vamana. Ultimate comes out. Ultimate from the Agni. Does the stun? Does Vamana clear this up? Most likely going to be able to. Each enemy comes out for the Raw, but I don't see him getting out of this. Pretty much done there. Great response. Honor and Ra were sticking a little bit too close. Anubis as well. So that's a 3 kill there. Actually dropped all the players on Juice. After that amazing kill, the amazing win, they got the free Fire Giant. They got the free Gold Fury. They got the free Phoenix. They pushed down the middle lane tower. They got a bunch of picks with the amazing initiation from the Odin. Amazing Mummify coming out from the Anubis. But they stuck around a little too long. I think they're just not comfortable with the fact that they're facing a, Division 1 team. They're not facing someone in the preliminaries that is just going to be, a warm-up match. BLG NA is not someone to be taken lightly, and that's exactly what Juice Gaming did. They took them way too lightly, pushed out their mid lane after overextending and spreading themselves thin. Frostbreath comes out with Vamana. I don't see anything coming out of this. Ymir's quite too tanky for this. He does still have the Fire Giant buff up on him. Oh, it's just a bug. Clear the path to get out there. Path of Flames. Baka's trying to steal the movement speed buff over here. Ends up getting this. See what Bacchus end up going for. Uses the Sovereignty. More focus coming out from him. The Belch is going to last a little bit longer. Odin goes for the lunge here. Ultimate for the Bacchus defensively. Not really going to see anything there. Look at the ward situation for both teams. BLG NA actually has no wards up. Might be bugged, but that's just how it is. 2 wards near the Fire Giant. Fire Giant will be up soon. Probably around the same time the Gold Fury comes up. We're going to see the Gold Fury coming up here probably in about 2 minutes. Fire Giant probably in around the same amount of time. Odin going for the damage buff. Goes for the Ratatouille on the Agni. Monkey has some great penetration from the Titan's Bane. We have the high Anemian line stacked up on the Odin, or on the Thor. This is going to help him with the Odin. Honor's coming over to take this damage buff. He's going to pick that off. Anubis ends up going for the rod, finishing it off, and going for the Gem of Isolation. This is getting his grasping hands very, very effective. The slow from that's going to be very, very strong. Vamana going over. Looks like they are warding this finally. Wards this up heavily. Very heavy wards coming out from Vamana. Excellent response. They know. Oh, gets immediately counter ward, but definitely have the presence of mind to place 1 ward inside the Fire Giant. I'm not entirely sure if this ward is in range to see that one. It might be at just the cusp of that. So we'll see if they do counter that if the Fire Giant does come up. But that gets countered immediately as soon as Vamana puts it back up. Great response there from Juice Gaming. You can see the awareness that they have. They're always prepared. They're always responding. They're where they need to be. They have the wards up. They have the reaction timing. And they also have great plays. Fire Giant just came back up. I expect Gold Fury to come up here in about 30 seconds or so. So the Fire Giant is up. BLG NA does have a ward inside. Is it inside? It doesn't look like they see it. They will see it with that ward that just got placed there. Tech down Rift on top of the Odin and the Ymir to stop them from going. But with that ward there, they need to kill that ward. If they kill that ward and hang out, they might be able to fake this. Does Ymir see it? He should now. Takes it out now. Now BLG NA has no vision on the Fire Giant. Need to be really careful here. They don't know if they're going to be initiating on it or not. Kind of a roundabout here. Bacchus leading the charge. Vamana goes in for the ultimate. Here comes the Odin going from behind. Does he go for the spears? Doesn't land on anybody. Actually, huge waste of the spears from Odin. Bacchus belly flopping out there. Vamana has no ultimate now. No ultimate for Odin either. Honor just got picked off in the back. Getting counter warded here. So now it is a 5v4. Juice is behind by 1 player. Odin wasting the ultimate. Vamana wasting the ultimate. But Honor just came from a bad angle. Just came from a bad angle. Got picked off. So now it's a 45. They're going to go for the Fire Giant attempt. Let's see what they try to do here. Now, what they really need to do is focus on picking off people that come out. I don't think they can go all the way in for the Fire Giant. They're going to back off here. Ymir by himself. Huge mistake there. His team is not with him. Goes for the Frostbite, taking a lot of damage. Celestial Beam on top. Goes for the ultimate. Is he going to land on top of anybody? Mummify doesn't land on top of anyone. Searing Pain comes on out. Doesn't land on top of anyone. Ultimate from Ymir only lands on top of the Bacchus. Clear the path comes out. Lunge comes out. Odin shout. No exchanges there. No one dies. At least they prevent the Fire Giant. That's probably what their main goal was, is just preventing the Fire Giant from coming out. They do have lots of wards. The ward comes out. Are they going to go for the Fire Giant here? They don't know, but Vamana and Bacchus went home. Wukong's on his way. Grasp Hand comes out. Great tectonic rift into And Mjolnir's attunement to get out there. Stun a lot. This corridor is very, very dangerous for line skill shots like Anubis' ultimate, Tectonic Rift, Ra's ultimate. Getting caught in those corridors is very, very difficult. Now it's 5v5. Honor's going to come up here now, 8 seconds. Mumfai lands. Bacchus responds just in time to prevent that from happening. Aegis ambient from the Anubis. Vamana's ultimate's back up. Goes for it. Walls him off. Great response. Bacchus ultimate. Gungnir's might. Celestial Beam on top of the Vamana. That's going to keep his ultimate active longer. Vamana going after it. Happy New Year comes out. Not going to be able to land on top of the Vamana. Damage coming out here. Overhand smash on top of the Anubis. Anubis is going to get dropped here. That's the first death. Anubis gets taken out. Doesn't even get a chance to use his ultimate. Huge pick there. Umbrella Ring on top of the Odin. Odin needs to be really careful. Trying to get out. Belly flop. Clear the path. Monkey. Does he get it? Can he get the kill? Somersault on top of him. Uses the Aegis Amulet, but he's screwed now. There's no getting out of this for Odin unless he has a lunge. Ultimate comes out from the Agni. Odin gets dropped there. 2 for O exchange for BLG NA. Frostbreath comes out on the Monkey. Monkey doesn't get taken out. Oh, he gets taken out by the Desert Fury. Here comes the belch from the Bacchus. Wall blocks off Agni from being part of this. The stun still goes down. Emir drops. Amazing reaction. Huge exchanges. That's a 3 for 1 for BLG NA. BLG NA actually making a comeback here. They're only 4,000 gold behind. Previously, they were 8,000 gold. They cut their deficit in half. Cut the deficit in half for BLG NA. They're going to go for the Fire Giant. This is the third subsequent Fire Giant attempt in the last 5 minutes. Are they going to be able to get it? Ra showing up. Honor and Ra, the only ones alive. There's not really much they can do. Ra has an ulti. He's going to have to do his best to try and steal this. That is their only option here. They cannot go in on this. They will get picked. The Impale on top. It gets Tectonic Rift. Amazing response from the Thor. Here comes the Ignite. Uses the Amulet, but he's going to be able to get out. Uses the Dispersion. Remember, Dispersion is a very long animation jump. Goes for the Searing Pain. Bacchus getting kind of low here. They're splitting out. This is a great call here from Juice. They know that they can't chase both of them. Honor getting low. Vamana going after the Ra. Is Vamana going to cut right for the Honor? Looks like he is. Ultimate comes out. Lands top of the Honor. Honor getting really, really low here. Goes for the Impale. Does not land on top of the Agni. Is it going to be enough? Path of Flames and the Umbrella Ring takedown on her. They really shouldn't have been forcing that. They did prevent them from getting the Fire Giant, but then the Heartseeker carry got picked off. Was it worth it? They prevented the Fire Giant, but at what cost? They lost the Honor. Honor's going to have to stack those stacks back up on his Heartseeker. A little bit greedy there. And we've seen this time and time again. Time and time again. Everyone tries to go and defend the Fire Giant and loses more than they would have gained if they prevented the Fire Giant. 16-15, 38.5 minutes in the game here. Only a 3.7k lead for Juice Gaming. They're still in the lead here, but only just. The farm's a little bit less for BLG NA, but they're making a lot of comebacks. Great lead here. They halved that deficit, so they're still in a deficit, don't get me wrong. Anubis backing off here. Great play from the Anubis, knowing that he can't really deal with that. They're going for a Fire Giant. Ra is sitting in the back. Does he have vision of this? Is he going to go for the Searing Pain? Thor trying to prevent them from coming in. Does he go for the Searing Pain? I really want to see if he does it. Does he go for it? Do they steal it? They don't. Just barely miss it. Happy New Year comes out. Ultimate coming out from the ear to do some great damage. Does the Bacchus and Vamana. Vamana uses the ultimate. Bacchus ultimate comes out, but they lost so many players on the outside. A little bit too greedy. Ra was on the other side, not even around to help him out. Emir gets stunned by the Tectonic Rift, and the Belch gets taken out here, dropping down. I don't see Emir getting out of this at all. Bulwark Hole pops, but it's not going to be enough. I would call that cheeky. I would call that cheeky. We see the Ra sitting in the back trying to go for a steal, but would it have helped? We saw the zoners coming out. A lot of times if you do a Fire Giant attempt, you will have people zoning the front of the Fire Giant so people can't come in to assist. But, you know, they lost 2 or 3 players in the beginning right outside because they were so split up, and they didn't have the assistance from Ra. Ra was just sitting in the back going for a cheeky play trying to steal that Fire Giant. If he had got it, it would have been clutch, but we see 3 players go down. 4 players go down. On her goes for the stun. They're going to go for an attempt here. Here comes the Umbrella Ring. Ultimate comes out. Are they going to be able to defend this? Celestial Beam comes down. Overhand smash on top of the Ra. Minotaur doing some great damage to the Bacchus. Drops down the Bacchus. Bacchus taking a lot of damage here. Goes for the Searing Pain. Drops Bacchus really low. Uses the belly flop. Honor coming in here. Thor ultimate coming out. Ra getting really low here. Honor getting really low. They need to be very, very careful. They don't have any teammates for quite some time. Thor ultimate comes down. On top of the Honor. Does it land? Just barely misses. Bacchus dropping quite low. Does Ra get picked off here? Goes for the Aegis Amulet, but it's not going to save him. Oh, just huge mistake there. Does the Minotaur get taken out? They still have a gold lead. They're ahead in gold right now, and they're going to lose this game. That's going to be game. They have a gold lead and they lost anyway. Huge throws there. And I think it's just the fact that they try to do too many things at once. It's amazing to see exactly what happens there. Amazing reaction there. And we saw in the beginning they were so careful. So careful. They were just so careful to try not get picked off. We saw 2 kills on each team for the first 15 minutes of the game. 15 minutes of the game, 2 kills for each team. 4 kills total for 15 minutes. That is nothing. That is no kills. Nothing went on. We saw very little go down. And then we saw that huge Gold Fury steal from Juice. And then they pushed it a little too far. I think this is a product of the fact that these teams don't really get to play each other that much until they're in the finals. This is a preliminary match. We now do see Juice getting knocked out of the myR tournament number 8. And this is the problem with these two big teams coming together. It is wiggling. Coming together and making sure that they face in the preliminaries. They face in the preliminaries and the big team gets knocked out. We saw an excellent match there, 21-15. Huge picks, but then just lots of throws. A lot of spread out. Vomano was a little bit too far away in the beginning. BLG got pushed back. They dropped to an 8,000 gold deficit. Then BLG came with a huge surge, got down. I mean, even Juice, they got the Fire Giant, they got the Gold Fury, they went down and they got the left Phoenix for BLG. But then they just stuck in the middle lane, lost 4 players, sticking around a little bit too long, lost the Fire Giant, got picked off a bunch of times. Honor came from a weird angle on one of the first Fire Giant attempts, got picked off, 4v5 for BLG. Then Ra was sitting in the back, tried to go for it, tried to steal, but the thing is, like, if you don't have a leap, you can't leap over the wall. You can't leap over the wall to help your team out. He's so far away, he can't get there in time. And we saw the people in the front of the Fire Giant get dropped too quickly, didn't even get the Fire Giant buff, and got picked off. And that resulted in them getting pushed all the way to their base, and the Minotaur getting taken out. It's an amazing response there. So that's going to be game, guys. Juice gets knocked out of the running in the preliminary match, round 3. Semifinals is going to be headed towards, for BLG NA. They're going to go straight to the semifinals, face up against the next team. This is far from over. We're going to watch BLG go and see how far they can get. But definitely a huge interaction here with the fact that these two teams meeting up. As always, my name is Drybear. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. This is a smitereplays.com broadcast, bringing you the myR tournament number 8. So I appreciate your views, and don't forget to head over to smitereplays.com, where you can check out all replays when the site is live, and pick up what you need to pick up.